Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wyoming Knits YouTube channel. My name is Jenny Lee, and this is my channel where I like to talk about all the things that I've been knitting on over the past week. Today is Sunday, November 30th, and this is episode 117. You can find me on Instagram as Jenny Lee Knits, and you can find me on Ravelry as Jenny Lee as Knits. And today I'm coming to you from a snowy southwest Wyoming, where I live with my husband, our daughter, and our little Yorkie, Dax. We got the first snow of the season today. It is currently 29 degrees outside. We have a fire going, and it is nice and toasty inside the house. A perfect day to sit and knit. So let's talk about what I have finished this week. If you couldn't tell already, I finished my Doppio sweater. I love this sweater. Let me grab my project bag. I have everything still in here. I used 3 different yarns. These two were Knit Picks Melissa's, and this is Cake Wool Co. This one is Vintage Rose, Dusky Petal, and this one is Russian Dressing. I don't believe this one is on the website anymore, but these two are. So if you find something similar to this and hold it together, all three strands made this beautiful marled, I would say like a cranberry red sweater. I get to wear this for Christmas or throughout December. I'll probably wear it a couple of times in February. And then I finished my garden cardigan. The Doppio sweater is by Seunghee, and I will have all the project pages linked in the description box below with everywhere that I bought yarn and where I purchased the bags. So this one is the Garden Cardigan by Anka Strick. I am completely finished. I held Blackbird Sycamore and Drops Kid Silk together. This is the color Mocha Mars, and this mohair is the color Apple. It's number 18. And I held it together to get this beautiful color. This reminds me of apples in the fall, or like a crabapple tree in the fall. I love this neckline detail where it overlaps, and so this is also a drop shoulder, so this will stay on your shoulders. It is too warm to wear 2 sweaters at a time, but I will try this on. I tried it on when I finished it. I think it's going to be nice and warm and cozy. It does look really good with this red underneath. It's got this lovely lace detail all down. I didn't like pull it out to block it. I just laid it flat. It fits really nicely on my shoulders. The arms might have grown a little bit, but I love to go like this when I'm walking down the hall to keep my hands warm when I'm taking the kids to their different activities throughout the day at school. If you are new here, I am a first grade teacher. I absolutely love my job, and then when I get done, I come home and I knit. So I am finished with my 2 projects, that I wanted to get finished this week. I'll hang this back up. All the notes for the size, the needles, the size I made, the needle size I used, and any modifications I made. I think I made this one exactly to pattern, except for I lengthened the body. It was kind of cropped and I didn't want it that cropped. And then on this one, I think I followed all of the instructions except for I didn't make the hidden pocket for the inside. I'm going to put that away so we don't forget. So I have one more finished object. I have my String of Lights socks. This is using Knit Picks Felici, one with the smaller stripes that is no longer available. They only had this for the 1 year, and then they brought Felici back. I was right there on the second sock, finished that up. So these are going to be a Christmas gift for my mother-in-law. I made the size medium, 64 stitches on a size US 0, which is a 2mm needle. I did the String of Lights pattern. I did 64 stitches for 20 rounds on the cuff. Then I went right into the String of Lights pattern. I substituted the slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset that I always use. Her patterns call for an extra garter ridge right here. Garter, there's like a garter border on the slip stitches. And then I used the toe from the Crazy Sock Ladies vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars or magic loop or DPNs. They all have the same number and it's the same instruction. You just do something different depending on which needles you're using. So these are the socks that I made for my mother-in-law for Christmas. Her favorite color is yellow, and this is the color Lemon Bar, if I didn't say that already. I love using the String of Lights pattern to break up the stripes just a little bit. So those were my finished objects. And then last week I told you I was just going to cast on all the things, all the socks, cake up all my yarn, and I did. So let's talk about some of the things you've seen already, and then we'll work our way into my new cast-ons. So let's go into works in progress. The first one is in this bag, Stitch Quest bag by Katie's Randomness, and I've shown this quite a few times. This is my Musselburgh hat. I'm using Ridiculous hand-dyed yarn in the color Witch's Brew, and this is what the cake looks like. I love how this is working up. I love the colors. It's right here last time. I've worked on it just a bit. Let's see how much, we'll see how much is left in the cake. 39 grams. I like to go until there's about 10 grams left. So I have about 30 grams left to knit. And then I will start the decreases. That will give me a really nice fold over brim. I am making the adult small with the 8 stitch per inch gauge. And I'm using a size, US size 1.5, which is a 2.5mm needle on 16-inch circulars. When I get to the decreases, I will switch over to magic loop. So I'll be working on that for a little while still. Then, is there anything else in here that you have seen? Yes. Right here. This is the Hearthside Cardigan by Wool & Pine Designs. And I'm using all of my purple leftovers. All of my purple scraps. So last time I was working on the back panel and I only had like 2 more rows to go. Well, it's actually 4 rows. It's in brioche. So one row is 2 passes. Yeah, so it was 2 rows. So I had 4 passes left to do. Then you put it on hold and you pick up stitches on the front and do another short row wedge in garter stitch, and then you start the brioche panel for the front. So this is going to kind of look like, fall it down. Let's try that again. It's going to kind of look like this. So I'm about that far. And it's brioche, so I need plenty of thinking time when I work on this so I can make sure and keep my rows nice and neat. I did cut the dark purple from the back and used it in the front just to keep this section a little more cohesive, but other than that, I think I've changed colors. I have like these ones that are one of the foreground colors. It kind of goes with that I'll keep working with. And then other than that, I just have a whole bunch, this looks crazy, a whole bunch of just purple, anything that had like a purpley tone to it. I stuck in this box some of my row 1 minis, some of my leftover skeins from socks. This has got a lot of gray, but it's got purple in it also. It's got pink and blue and purple. So I will be using lots of those colors in here, hopefully. And I think that's everything you've seen me work on. And now let's get into all the new stuff I cast on. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 small bags and 2 large bags. So let's go through the small bags first. Start with this one. This is a Mountain State Stitches bag. One of my favorite bags because it's green. This has a Mama Jess sock set. November 2025. Thankful November. And spruce. I got this last week and I thought, ooh, that's going to be my Thanksgiving cast on. I just dropped my magic loop needles. I was like, that could be my Thanksgiving cast on. All those colors. And so we waited until Friday to have Thanksgiving together. My husband was working, and so I said, I'll just do it Friday. You're off on Friday, I'll do it Friday. And it was gonna be the three of us, and then my daughter, and we invited my daughter's boyfriend because she had dinner with them on Thursday, and then some of their friends were in town, and so they stopped by, and so it ended up being 6 of us. So I cast on 64 stitches with a German twisted cast on 9-inch circular needles. This is a size 0. I did 64 stitches in a 2x2 rib for 20 rounds. And then on this one I decided I wanted to do just plain vanilla. So this is my vanilla Mama Jess sock set for November. And I will work on that until it gets done. Let's put a little gummy bear progress keeper in there for next time. I think I only have maybe about 15 more rows before the heel. I think I'm going to use this for the heel and the toe. So I have that. Then I grabbed this bag. This is the Woolly Tangle. It's perfect for one skein of yarn. I am using Cozy Cauldron fiber and just threw it on the floor. It's the color Gingerbread House. And this is what the cake looks like. It is micro striping. So I knew it was going to micro stripe, so I thought, let's break that up a little bit and do the second breakfast pattern by Sock Witchery. So this is like a waffle stitch. I also cast on 64 stitches on a size US size 0 with a German twisted cast on for the cuff. I did 64 stitches in a 2x2 rib for 20 rounds, and then I started in on the pattern. So that will get worked on this December. Let me grab my tag. Yep, that was Gingerbread House. And it is a sparkle base also. 75% superwash merino, 15% nylon, 437 yards per 100 grams. So that's in this one. Then I have this cute My Needle Works, right? My Needle Crafts bag with the cute green frogs. And last time my mom was over, I said, come look at all of my yarn and choose something for your Christmas socks. And she said, that's a lot to choose from. I said, you're my mom, you get to choose any skein you want. You can choose any of them. She was looking and she was looking, and I said, I pulled out this one, and I thought these look like your colors. and she said, "Ooh, yes, do that." So this is the 2022 fall release of Felici yarn, Night Market, and I have started her first sock, and I am also doing the String of Lights pattern on this one. I am about 7 rows away from the heel, and I'll just continue and just do the heel. I'm not going to change colors or add contrast for this one. I'm just going to keep going, and these will be her Christmas socks for this year. I did 64 stitches with a German twisted cast-on size US size 0, 9-inch circular needles. I do all of my socks on 9-inch circular needles until I get to the toe, and then I switch out for magic loop. And I do go up to a size 1 when I do magic loop. I just knit tighter on a magic loop needle than I do on 9-inch circulars. So I did that one, and then I grabbed this bag, and I cast on this has some Ravelry coats, so I don't want to show those. Dragon Horde, and this one is called Rudolph, and it came with 2 minis. I think I'll do this for the cuff. Well, I did do this for the cuff, and I'm going to do it for the toe and this for the heel. And I didn't get very far on this one because I knew I wanted a plain vanilla sock to take with me for when I'm waiting in between parents for a parent-teacher conference. So I love how this is working up so far with the green and the gray, the moss. I don't know, I love the green. So I'm going to take this to school with me the week we have parent-teacher conferences, and if I have more than 5 minutes between conferences, I'll probably pull this out and work on it a little bit. If not, I will work on it at home and maybe get it done before the end of December. I don't think I'll finish any of these socks before the end of December, except for my mom's sock. That has to be done by Christmas. Then that was the last sock I cast on. I have two more sock sets caked up, ready to go. But I caked up the handspun I had purchased. It's a pretty big cake. I'll show you in comparison to this one. This is 100 grams of fingering weight yarn, and this is, I want to say this was 177 grams. So I caked it up, and it's living in my Red Lady Creates bag. This is a little bit bigger than a sock set bag. And I started a jaunty. This is the Jaunty by Andrea Mowry. It's a fisherman's rib. And you do your fisherman's rib and you increase every so many rows. I put a stitch marker there to help me count the rows. So I'm working on that. Thought that would be the perfect project to just work on with the handspun that I've had for like, I don't know, I want to say 3-4 years, that I didn't know what to do with. I wanted it. I was like, after I got it, I was like, what am I going to do with that? I don't know. So that one's in here. And then I cast on 2 new sweaters. So this one I've been planning on for a while. This is a Sassy Sacks. She has an Etsy shop. Oh, I'm going to put this back before I lose it. And I'm using some Knit Pick Stroll. Where did my other one go? I'm using Strawberry. That is kind of blowing out. Serene. And some undyed. And this is a cardigan for my daughter. She saw me watching a podcast up here on the big TV over the summer, and she goes, "Oh, I love that cardigan. Can you make me one of those?" And I said, "Yeah, I've already made one just in the same pattern. Yeah, I could make you that." So that's my my gray one with all the stripes. And she goes, "What?" Because the lady in the podcast was wearing, it was a undyed with different neutral stripes. And she was like, "That's the same one?" I said, "Yeah, that's the same one." And she goes, "Well, I want red, white, and blue." So this is what she picked. This is the Stria Cardigan by Andrea Mowry. I am still working on the raglan increases. This is also a half fisherman's rib pattern. So I think I did this in about 3 days, with casting on all the other things also. I think she did a good job choosing the colors. I like how they're coming together, and it'll just be a little while to get it finished. I didn't do a swatch. I'm kind of worried that it will bleed, but maybe I'll just steam block it and she'll just wear it as a cardigan. Probably won't get that dirty. If I have to spot clean it, I can. But I only bought 1 50 gram of the Serene and 1 50 gram of the Strawberry. And then I bought 4 undyed skeins of the white. Because she said, "Yeah, I want a cream neutral white. It doesn't have to be like stark white." She said the off-white is fine. And so cast that on for her. That'll be the next, probably not the next sweater I finish, because I cast on one more. This has been caked up for a while. Well, I caked up one skein, and I'm using yarn from the Sheepy Shire. This is a alpaca, Cereal Alpaca in the color Hydrangea. And then I'm using Stitching with Yarn, her Stitch Quest yarn that I got at the beginning of the year. and I've wanted to make a lento for a while, and so I cast on a lento yesterday, and that's how far I got. I have not split for sleeves yet. See, this is the front. So I love how these two are working together. It's going to be nice and fluffy. I haven't decided if I like mohair or Surrey better. I want to do a couple more Surrey sweaters before I decide. So that is in a bag by Awesome Granny. And I think that is everything I cast on this week. So how many cast-ons did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new cast-ons. Hey, one day for every day of the week. Or one project for every day of the week this week. Because I cast off this one on the 26th. Let's see, let's check my computer. Yes, I finished both of these on the 26th, and that was, what day of the week even was that? It was the Wednesday. So that was my first day off school. I bound off the hem on this one. I finished the sleeve on this one. I had this much left to do on the sleeve. So I bound off the sleeve on this one, blocked it, finished the length on the body, did the hem, bound off the hem, read through the rest of the directions, and everything else was done. It does have a faux seam right here, and in the pattern it said you don't have to seam it up. If you want to, you can. And it's got the faux seam running down the arm also. And because I wanted to be done, I did not mattress stitch it. I have mattress stitched the Autumn League cardigan, or no, Autumn League pullover, and it's easy, but it's just one more step that I gotta do before I can wear my sweater. So I blocked that one, then waited for it to dry. 2 days later I blocked this one, even though I finished them both on the same day, and I cast on all the new things. So that's everything I've worked on this week. Let's talk about what I received in the mail. The first thing I got, I ordered a new sock set for Christmas from You Knit I Dye, and I think this one is just called Xmas Star sock set. It's got the red and the green. I think it's mostly red. This one will probably microstripe. Came with the white mini. And it also came with this cute Progress Keeper. All snowflakes. Oh, it's a stitch marker. Don't think it opens. So I will be using this on something soon. And then I got my Yarnberry for November. It is Hobbiton. I'm gonna focus. And this is a beautiful fall color. And that is everything I got in the mail this week. And because today is Sunday, I get to open one of my skeins from Mama Jess. Yes. I get to start opening the 4 Sundays. So we've got Sunday number 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 Sundays of Advent. Today is the first one. So let's see what came with it. So the first thing we got was a tote bag that says just one more chapter. This is a reading themed sock set for Sundays. It's got a cute little pocket on the inside. And then there was one more little baggie. Reading is my happy place. I do love to read. I don't read as much as I used to because I knit more. And then it came with a bunch of goodies. A see-through tin with some snips and some stitch markers. Just some of these light bulb ones. So that would be pretty handy to have. Then some stickers. This will be, it goes this way. The words go this way, but the sticker goes this way. Cute little cat. Some books. Read more books. Reader life. Life is better with coffee, cats, and books. I actually cannot have cats. My mother is allergic to cats and my daughter is allergic to cats. So I can't have a cat at my house. Those were cute. Some tea. A cute pen. A notepad that looks like a library date book. And a 2 reading list logs. So that'll be fun. Alright, let's get to the yarn. So let's see. November 1st. Reading is magical and greeting cat. Love it. I ordered 4 new 9-inch circular needles so I could cast these on every Sunday. So I will be casting these on every Sunday. Will I finish them in the week? No, but I will be casting them on. So we'll put this back up here for next week. And starting tomorrow is Vlogmas, so I will be opening up my Advent on Vlogmas tomorrow, and just chatting a little bit with you about my day and what I have plans for, if I worked on anything. So let's talk about stash stats, because it is the last day of the month. I will have some graphics that I put up over here. I have my computer right here that has the same thing. I think a lot of you appreciated that I shared my money, how much I spent on yarn and how much I made through YouTube. I did not receive a check this month from YouTube for ad revenue. They don't pay you until you reach the $100 mark threshold, and so I think I'm making between 50 and 70, 50 and 80 a month. And so I get a check every 2 months. So I got a check last month, so I probably won't get a check until December. So let's talk about grams in and grams out first. So I bought 1,300 grams of Knit Picks yarn when it was on sale. I did 3 sweater quantities for 2 traveler pullovers. I'm not going to do the hoodie version, just the crew neck, and then a sweater quantity for a cardigan from Mishi Fraz, the Fidalgo cardigan, and then I had a sock set from Mama Jess, a sock set from You Knit I Die, and a sock set from the Yarnberry, which takes my total to 4 grams in to 1,660 grams. And then I knit 1, 2, 3 pairs of socks. I did 4 blanket squares. I sent out my Advent swap, and I finished my Doppio and my garden cardigan, which put me at 1,665.5 grams out for a difference of negative 5.5 grams. So I'm still more grams out than in this month. So that was good. My overall grams in stash right now is 79,044.5 grams. I started the year with 74,000. So I am up 5,000 grams for this year. My budget expenses, I spent $435 in yarn tools, sending out the Advent swap that I did. So that's okay. I'm just keeping track of how much money I spent, and so maybe next year I can come up with a budget on how much I want to spend per month on yarn. So far I've just been buying whatever I think I want, if it's in my budget for the month. Sometimes it's not in my budget for the month and I buy it anyway. So next year I'll be able to keep better track of how much I want to spend for yarn. It has been almost 45 minutes, and so I'm pretty sure my family is ready for dinner. It is almost 4 o'clock. I need to start getting dinner ready. I need to get this out. But I will see you tomorrow for Vlogmas, and until then, happy knitting, happy making, and I will see you tomorrow.